Hi everyone, welcome back to Closing Time Kitchen. My name is Denise Monaco with Settlement Engine, and today I'm going to answer the questions that you've been emailing me about. And we're also going to make this beautiful bruschetta burrata board. So what we're going to need is a loaf of Italian bread, a cutting board, some flaky salt. I don't know if you've ever tried this, but this is a great brand of salt. You're gonna need some prosciutto if you prefer, you don't need to, but you definitely want the burrata. You want some little tomatoes, some good quality extra virgin olive oil, and some balsamic glaze. And the basil, star of the show. So go grab your ingredients and we'll be right back. Okay, I hope you have all of your ingredients so we can make this together. So the first thing we're gonna do is get the correct knife, and we are going to slice our Italian bread into slices because we're gonna toast them in the oven. So let's just start doing this. And the first question that I always get, even people that have purchased homes before, and I explain what title insurance is to them, and they never had the explanation, but what exactly is title insurance? So title insurance protects your ownership rights on your property. It's not like homeowners insurance that protects you against future events like fires or storms. Title insurance protects your interest that you already own in your home and against things that existed before you purchased the property that weren't discovered in a title search. So that's what title insurance is. Okay, so we are gonna put these on a board. You can finish up the whole loaf. I'm just gonna put it on a cookie sheet, and we're gonna spray it with some olive oil. If you don't have a spray dispenser, you could just brush it on as well. And then we're gonna put them in the oven for about 7 minutes until they get nice and toasty. And when they come out of the oven, I will be right back and we'll answer some more of your questions. Okay guys, now that the bread is in the oven, we sprayed it with some olive oil. It's gonna go in there about 5 to 7 minutes until it gets a little toasty. And we're gonna just take our cherry tomatoes after they've been washed. We're just gonna cut them in half. And this recipe could not be simpler. So the next question I get is, do I have to pay for title insurance every year? Because most people, they have car insurance, they have homeowners insurance, they might have disability insurance or health insurance, and you're paying for that every year, every month, however you have your payment set up. Title insurance is a one-time charge that you pay when you purchase your home. However, if you do refinance, you will need another lender's policy. So technically, it's a one-time charge unless you refinance, and then you just need a lender's policy, and that is at a lesser cost because most likely your mortgage amount is going to be less than the price you paid when you purchased it. So that is your answer for that. The next question is it really necessary if I am buying a home in cash? So it's not required by anybody. You're purchasing a home in cash, it's not required. However, I would say that it is most definitely needed. You could buy a home, and once you own that home, you might be getting notices that there's a tax lien on the property, or there's a judgment on the property, or there's a mortgage on the property. And once that happens, that is your responsibility at that point. So I would always recommend getting title insurance. Like I said, it's a one-time charge. You want to protect yourself. It's most likely one of the biggest investments you're ever going to make. So you want to make sure that you're protected. Okay, so we're cutting up our tomatoes. And then next I'm going to cut up some basil. I'm going to show you a really easy way to cut your basil. This is fresh basil. You can buy it in the grocery store. It comes in a pot or a bag, and all you need to do is, I've washed it, you can tell it's wet. All you need to do Just pick it off, roll it up like that. You can see that, just like, looks like a little, I don't know, cigarette maybe. And just cut it into little pieces. We're just gonna set all this aside. Now the next question, what types of problems does title insurance cover? So your title insurance is going to cover things like unpaid liens, forgeries, recording errors or issues, unknown errors, boundary disputes, and other defects that weren't discovered before closing. The problems can be quite expensive if you don't have coverage. So you always want to make sure that you have your title policy, your lender's policy, as well as your owner's policy. Okay, I am going to cut up a couple more of the basil, and then I'm going to grab the bread out of the oven, and we'll start putting this board together. I'll be right back. Okay guys, the bread is out of the oven. It's nice and crispy. You can hear it. Now this is the fun part. We're going to build the board. And I don't know if you've had burrata. Like I said, it's one of my favorite cheese. And what it is, it looks like a ball of mozzarella. However, the inside is basically like a shredded mozzarella mixed with a heavy cream. So it kind of oozes out. It is delicious. So we're gonna just arrange our slices of toasted bread on the outside of the board. And while we're doing that, I wanna talk about the other question that I've gotten a lot is what is the difference between a lender's policy and an owner's policy? And honestly, it's in the name itself. The lender's policy is going to protect the lender. They have an interest in your property because you most likely took out a mortgage to buy it. And when your mortgage is paid off, the lender's policy goes away. So the owner's policy protects you, the owner. So if anything happens, you have protection. So it's in the name. The lender's policy protects the lender, the owner's policy protects the owner. Okay, so now we're gonna add our tomatoes, and we're just gonna put that, well first we're gonna put the burrata in the center. Now you can use one, when you buy this, it usually comes with two balls of cheese. So I'm just gonna take it out, and it comes like mozzarella in the water. So look at these, how beautiful is that? They're so soft and squishy, like a squishmallow. Okay, so we're gonna put this on the board, just like that, and then we're gonna put the tomatoes around it. So the next question that I get a lot, can title problems really show up years later? The answer is yes, they can. I've seen situations where old judgments and unpaid contractors' liens or previously unknown errors appeared years after someone has purchased their home. So it's a good thing you have title insurance. So we're just gonna put these around. So that's what makes it so valuable. It protects a lot of stuff from the past and a lot of things that could happen in the future. I wish you could smell this because it's amazing. So another question that we get is, does a title search find every possible problem? So public records is where everything is located. And is it possible to find everything? Yes, it is. So there are times when we are doing the title insurance and we get a phone call from the realtor or the lender and we're like, okay, everything's good, we're ready to close, we want to close tomorrow. We would love to do that for you. However, title insurance, when you're ready to close, that's when we do a bring down. A bring down is a search from when the policy was initially searched until the day of settlement. If anything was recorded in public records between those dates, we will catch it. If your title company doesn't do a bring down, if there was something placed on your property between the last time the search was pulled and your settlement, that could be a problem. So if you're ready to close, that's great. We want to close it as quickly as you do, trust me. But we still also want to make sure that you're protected. So it's very valuable protection, so we want to make sure that we dot all of our I's and cross all of our T's to make sure that you are protected. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to sprinkle the fresh basil all over the tomatoes and the burrata, and it's so pretty. And fresh basil is the only way to go. You don't want to use dried basil. It doesn't smell as good, doesn't taste as good. Okay, so now what other questions have we been asked? Let me think. Can title insurance protect me if someone forged a deed years ago? Many owners' policies provide protection against forgery. So yes, as with any policy, it is subject to terms and conditions. Unfortunately, deed fraud has become more common over the past several years, and I'm sure you've seen commercials to protect your title. It's called Title Lock or Title Protect, so no one can steal your deed. I will give you a little insider's tip. You can do that for free. You don't have to pay a monthly service charge to do that. So you can go to your Recorder of Deeds website in your county, and there is a place for you to register your deed. So if anything happens to your deed at all, you will be notified, and it is free. So if you would like the link to your county, feel free to drop a comment below or send me an email, and I will send you over the link for your county. So there's no need to charge for something that you can get for free. So let's finish this board. If you want some prosciutto, you can also do that. Let me see, what other questions do we have? How much does title insurance cost? So the title insurance is based on the purchase price and the state. And if you're doing a refinance, boy, do I make a mess. I should have worn my apron, but I wanted you to see my new t-shirt. So you can go on my website, settlementengine.com, and you put in your purchase price and your loan amount, your county, and it gives you an exact title quote. So there's a couple of variables that go into pricing it, but I will tell you that it is regulated by the state of Pennsylvania, so it is a controlled cost. I think we have one more question. Why should I care what title company that I choose? Well, I'm going to tell you, because I work for Settlement Engine, I do feel that we are the best title company that I have had the experience of working with and for. And I was a realtor, I was in the mortgage industry, and I had a processing company. So all of those factors make me appreciate the work that we do. So you want a title company that provides great communication, solves problems before they become emergencies, protects your funds. We use Closing Lock to protect you and your money, keeps everyone informed of the transaction, and gets you to the closing table as smooth as possible. So at Settlement Engine, that is exactly what we do. So you could have a really amazing process. You could have a wonderful realtor, find the perfect home, your lender gets your mortgage approved, and there's a hiccup at settlement. Maybe because a bring down wasn't done, or because the title company didn't do a thorough search, or there was just issues that weren't taken care of. That's the last thing that the buyer will remember, is how awful settlement went. It doesn't matter how great everyone was getting you there, it's how everything finishes at the table. So Settlement Engine will take care of you and make you get there as quickly and as smoothly as possible. So this is our board. We are going to drizzle it with some olive oil, and I'll put the links to this little container, this amazing salt, and in the comments. So you're just going to drizzle it with some olive oil and some balsamic glaze. And you can also just use balsamic vinegar if you like, but this just makes it look so pretty. And just like that, we have a beautiful burrata board. So I hope I've answered all of the questions that you've sent me. I hope to do this again because this is fun, knowing what people wanted to hear. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you are buying or refinancing a home, I would love to talk to you and educate you about title insurance. If you are a realtor or a lender and you're looking for a new home or a backup title company, we would love to be that person for you. Just keep in mind that if the Eagles didn't have a fantastic backup quarterback, they would never have won the Super Bowl. So think of me for that purpose. And great food, great people, and great title companies get everyone to the closing table. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And don't forget, it's always sweet at closing time. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks.